Good day, friends. Today is day 3 of our unit on sea life. We're going to review how fish breathe on the water one more time. But this time, we're not going to have everything filled in for you. We're going to have to work on it together and fill in the lines. And you're going to have to kind of guess with me and tell me how fish breathe underwater. Now, we have a fish, and he's underwater. And in the water, what gas do we have in the water? Do we have nitrogen? Do we have oxygen? Do we have, what? What did I hear? That's right, friends, oxygen. In the water, there's oxygen. And that's what the fish, when they go like this, that's what they're taking in, oxygen. And it goes here. What are these slits called? Who said? Say it loud. Did you say gills? Yes. These are called gills or gill slits. Fish need gills to breathe underwater. So once the oxygen passes through the gills, it's no longer oxygen, friends. It is carbon dioxide. I'm sorry, I gave you the answer. I should have gave you time to guess. Next time I will. So, fish breathe in oxygen, you're correct. It goes through the gills and it comes out carbon dioxide. Gills are like the fish's lungs. That's what they need to breathe in the water. If you put a fish on land, it will not survive because it needs gills. They don't have lungs like us. All right? Today, I'm going to read you a book. It's called ABC, ABC. And it's about animals in the sea. It has a lot of great pictures and some very informative facts. So stick around, friends, to hear ABC. Hi, friends. Today's book is ABC. Not the letter C, but the word C. C-E-A. C. The sea is a body of water. Now, this book doesn't have an author or illustrator. It's by a group of people called the Crab Apples. Don't ask me why, okay? Let's open the book. This book has something unique that the other books we've read so far has not had. They don't have. It's a table of contents. Now, the table of contents tells you what is on each page. So, if you have a favorite sea creature, you might like the octopus, you just go to page 19, and octopus is on page 19. So, a table of contents tells you what is on each page of the book. Let's look at the first one, A. A is for anemone. An anemone on land is a flower, but a sea anemone is an animal. Sea anemones are carnivores. That means they eat meat. They eat small fish. They use their long tentacles to sting their prey and scoop it into their mouth. This is a giant sea anemone. So it looks like a plant, but it's not. It's an animal. Make sure you see this. B is birdfish. Birdfish do not have scales. They have tough skin and sharp spines. When a birdfish senses danger, it swallows lots of water. Soon it looks like a balloon with nails poking out. So it's kind of similar to a pufferfish, right? But the pufferfish blows itself up. This one swallows lots of water. C is for coral reef. Move this over so you can see. Coral reefs are made of millions of coral animals. Some are alive, some are dead. There are many kinds of coral. How many can you see in this picture below? I see quite a number of corals. That's one of our habitats we're going to study next week. Ocean habitat are coral reefs. Thousands of fish, plants, and sea creatures live in coral reefs because plenty of food can be found there. Some coral reefs are close to the shore and others are far out in the ocean. D is for damselfish. There are 235 kinds of damselfish. Small damselfish eat plants and tiny animals. The large ones eat crabs and shrimp. Damselfish purr and click to attract other damselfish. They also make noises to scare away enemies. Purr and click. What other animals purr and click in the ocean, I wonder, besides damselfish? E is for eel. I remember eels from the Alphabet Ocean book. I made a book to book connections. Sometimes something in one book can make you remember something you read in another book. E is for eel. An eel looks like a snake, but it is a fish. Eels have smooth skin instead of rough scales. Their teeth are sharp. Eels hunt fish and crabs at night. They hide during the day. The blue eel in the picture is a ribbon eel. The spotted one is a moray eel. So if they come out at night, that means now this is a big word for it, they're nocturnal. Nocturnal means they only come out at night. Move this over so you can see. F is for flamingo tongue. The flamingo tongue is a type of sea snail. Most land snails have hard shells over their skin, but this snail wears its colorful skin over its shell. Flamingo tongues live on sea fans. Okay. G is for goby. Gobies are tiny fish that love to clean. They set up cleaning stations that bigger fish visit. Gobies eat the parasites. That means little harmful creatures that can hurt big fish. They cling to the teeth and gills and scales of large fish. Can you see the busy goby at work? Here's a goby right here. Let me put right here is a goby. And they blew it up down here. H is for hogfish. The colorful hogfish has a snout that looks like a hog snout. Not only does this fish look like a hog, it acts like one. 2. Just as hogs root means dig. They use their snout to dig in the ground on land, hogs do. This one uses its snout like nose to dig in the sand at the ocean floor. So let me read that. Just as hogs root for food on land, hogfish dig their meals on the ocean floor. Now the ocean floor is another habitat we're going to look at when we start studying habitats next week. Coral reefs, ocean floors. I is for isopod. Isopods. Once ocean isopods are parasites. They cling to the heads and gills of fish and feed on their host. This isopod lives on a soldier fish. Its colors blend in so well that it looks as if it's part of the fish. Here's the isopod right here. You can't even see it. Parasites are not good for fish. That's why we have the gobies to help. J is for jellyfish. A jellyfish is not a fish at all. It is an animal that is mostly water. A jellyfish has long tentacles that hang down from its round float. The tentacles are covered with stingers that can kill small fish and hurt larger creatures. K is for king helmet shell. The king helmet shell is a type of sea snail. This snail usually hides in its shell, but sometimes its mouth and tentacles stick out of the opening. The snail's shell grows as the snail grows. That was a tongue twister. My goodness, I didn't know how to do tongue twisters. This is a lionfish. I love lionfish. L is for lionfish. When the lionfish spreads its pectoral fins, they look like a lion's mane. That's the fins in the front. on the side. The fins scare away enemies. The lionfish also uses its fins to sweep fish, shrimp, and crabs towards its wide mouth. Its dorsal fins have poisonous spines. M is for mammals. Whales, seals, sea lions, walruses, and sea otters are all mammals. They live in the ocean. Dolphins are mammals too. They are part of the whale family. All mammals need to breathe air. What do they breathe air with? We should know this by now. Who said lungs? Right. Dolphins breathe air through their blowhole. The blowhole is connected to their trachea, which the trachea is connected to their lungs. We're going to learn about that tomorrow. So you have a sneak peek for tomorrow's lesson. N is for nurse shark. Not the type of nurse you're thinking about, friends. It's a totally different thing. Sharks are fish. A nurse shark has a feeler or barb on each side of its mouth. It uses its barbels to find food in the sand. Nurse sharks like to lie on the ocean floor. They make a sucking sound like that sounds like a nursing baby. That's why they're called nurse sharks. O is for octopus. Octopuses live in the caves and holes near the bottom of the ocean. They hunt at night. That means they're nocturnal, just like the eels. They squirt dark ink into the water to hide from enemies. If an octopus loses a tentacle, it can grow a new one. Octopuses are very intelligent. Shazam! Isn't that a great fact? If they lose a tentacle, let me hold this book. If they lose one of these, they could grow another one. That is truly special. P is for parrotfish. The parrotfish looks like a parrot. It is colorful and has a sharp beak. The parrotfish is a noisy eater. It feeds on small plants that live on coral reefs. It also bites off chunks of hard coral. It has to have sharp teeth if it's going to bite off coral. Coral is really sharp. One time I was in Hawaii and they told us to be very careful because the coral reef can cut you. And of course, some people didn't listen and had to go to the lifeguard for bandages and band-aids. Q is for queen triggerfish. These fish are very fierce. Very fierce means they're very brave and they will attack anything. They will attack any creature that comes too close to their home. Triggerfish have strong jaws to crack the shell off their favorite prey, giant clams. You know, in the ocean, for a long time when I was little, I thought sharks were the only one that had sharp teeth. As we read in other books, we've learned that many creatures in the ocean have sharp teeth. R is for ray. There are several kinds of rays. The swimming ray in the picture below is an eagle ray. The one in the sand is a stingray. Using their flat fins, rays seem to fly underwater. A ray's mouth is on the underside of its body. Can you believe it? Your mouth is on your underside? Oh, this is one of my favorite animals, the seahorse. S is for seahorse. This small fish is a weak swimmer. It stays upright and holds on to objects with its prehensile tail. It wraps its tail around plants to keep from being swept away by strong ocean currents. That prehensile means it's like a curved tail, and they just wrap it around. Hold on, friends. It's sticking together. Don't stick. T is for trunkfish. The trunkfish belongs to the boxfish family. From the side, it looks like a box. Instead of scales, the trunkfish is covered in a bony plate that protects it from other creatures. Trunkfish also release a deadly poison for protection. Wow. So it has like armor. It, for those of you who like dinosaurs, like maybe like the Triceratops, or it release a poison. Jiminy crickets. U is for urchin. There are over 700 kinds of sea urchins. A sea urchin's sharp spines keep enemies away. This sea urchin has no eyes or brain. Its mouth is on the underside of its body. It sticks out its teeth to scrape sea plants from the rocks. Can you imagine having no brain? That is fascinating. V is for Venus sea fan. Sea fans are a type of coral. Venus sea fans live in shallow, clear water near coral reefs. They have tiny branches that are woven together like a net. They catch food in these branches. Venus sea fans are yellow, gray, and purple. W is for worm. Over 5,000 kinds of worms live in the sea. The sea worms below are called feather duster worms because their crowns, that means the top of their heads, look like feather duster. If something frightens this worm, it pulls its crown into the body tube. X is for Zestospongia muta. That's a mouthful, okay? I'm not going to even tell you no stories. That's a mouthful. The scientific name for giant barrel sponge. The big opening at the top of the sponge is called the oscula. Giant barrel sponges are large enough to fit a diver inside. Can you imagine? If you were a diver, you can go inside. I wouldn't want to. Y is for yellow snapper. Yellow-tailed snappers swim above reefs and are not afraid of people. They are curious and will come very close to divers. These yellow-tailed snappers must wonder where the party is. That is so speechless. He's underwater wearing, since we cannot breathe underwater, he's wearing a helmet, friends, that pumps in oxygen so he can breathe underwater. So you either have to wear a scuba tank or a tank or helmet that pumps in oxygen so you can breathe underwater, because we have lungs. Remember, we can't breathe. We don't have gills. Z is for zones of life. There are living creatures at every level of the ocean. Sea plants and animals help keep the ocean healthy. The sunlight, so these are different, I guess, kind of habitats. The sunlight zone, the twilight zone, and the deep are 3 zones of the ocean life. Coral reefs are part of the sunlight zone. So let me go over here and show you the words. The sunlight zone gets a lot of light. Most fish and sea grasses and seaweeds live in the sunlight zone. The twilight zone is darker and colder than the sunlight zone. Sponges, coral, octopuses, rays, squid, some whales dive down in the twilight zone. And the deep is very dark and cold. Sea worms, sea cucumbers, and coral live on the ocean floor. The deep is home to unusual fish such as the gulper and the angelfish. So we're going to learn about different habitats, but these are just telling you where different animals live in the ocean. Not everyone lives at the top or near the surface. And these are some words that they wanted you to know, but I mostly went over all the words when I was reading the story to you. And that's the end of the book. It's so funny, friends. When I was reading this book, can I go back just for 1 minute? When I was reading the thing about the seahorse, it reminded me of a time I went to the Shed Aquarium, and I guess the equivalent to the zookeeper at a zoo, the aquarium keeper, was standing near the seahorse exhibit, and he says, "We're waiting for the seahorse to give birth." Now you're thinking, a girl seahorse, right? No, the boys give birth in the seahorse family. And we're going to talk about that later in the unit. And so we were all waiting, and all of a sudden it was like an explosion of little baby seahorses that came out his pouch. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that is so beautiful. I've never seen anything like that in my life. So this book made me think of something that happened in my life. Sometimes a book can make you can get a personal connection. So like you have book to book connection, sometimes you have a book to self connection. A book to self connection means when you're reading a story, you think about something that's happened to you in your life. So when I saw the seahorse, that's what I thought about. I hope you enjoyed this story. This story was long. I know the last two stories have been, but I just wanted you to get a feel for all the creatures and habitats in the ocean. I promise the next few books won't be that long. And there'll be so much knowledge and facts that you'll learn. So stay tuned, friends, and let's learn more about our wonderful creatures that live in the ocean.